How would you like to double your prices without doubling your work? Most people think pricing is about what you do. It's not. It's about what people think you do. And there is a massive difference. 4 years ago, I charged $497 for my first freelance project. Fast forward to today, I've spoken at the biggest marketing conferences around the world, built a 7-figure agency, and now charge $20,000 for a landing page. And here's the secret. The work didn't get 40x more complex. I just finally figured out this one thing. The best business minds in the world, people like Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, and Sarah Blakely, they all understand that premium pricing is not about ripping people off. It's about understanding how value is actually perceived. And there are 3 psychological principles that you can use to trigger and control this perception. But most people don't even know that these principles exist, and it's why they keep getting stuck, pulling their pants down on price and working with nightmare clients. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to attract premium clients who are chasing you, price confidently without any pushback, and become the obvious choice for premium clients at premium pricing. Let's get started. So back then, I was stuck at $497 for a while simply because my offer was weak. I was selling tasks, aka a website audit, instead of outcomes. And what I've learned is if you can change your offer, you can change your business. So cue principle number 1, the offer principle. There are 3 simple steps to nail this. And step 1 was to go from selling tasks to selling outcomes. And it sounds simple, but most businesses act like a waitress. The client orders and you deliver. But here's what they are missing, right? Clients usually know the symptom, but not the cause. And if you just take orders, you'll solve the wrong problem every time, and you will be stuck charging for tasks instead of solving their problems. So here's the thing. If you just do tasks, design, copy, build, you'll always be capped at what you can charge because tasks have market rates. Outcomes do not. So to help me to unlock this step, it's when I discovered diagnostic selling and became the doctor instead of the waitress. Because when you go to a doctor, you don't say, "I'll have one MRI, thanks." You explain your symptoms, they ask questions, and they diagnose the real issue. So here's a perfect example of where this happens. I had one client convinced their problem was design. They were like, "We want to make the landing page prettier and the sales are going to take off." But when I dug deeper, the real problem was their messaging and their offer and their copy, not the design. So to nail this diagnostic selling and sell outcomes and not tasks, here are the questions that I started asking. Well, what have you already tried? Why do you think you're stuck? What's your 12-month goal? What's holding you back? Why is now a good time to work with me? When you're doing this, you can't be afraid to dig deep and to lean into those hard conversations because your goal as the doctor is to uncover the root causes of those problems and then prescribe the solutions that will actually work and get them real transformations, not just do the tasks that they tell you to do. Now, once you know what outcome you are selling, step 2 is to refine your offer. Here is the framework. Track, test, tweak. In track, after every sales call, write down 2 things. What they said they wanted and what they actually struggled with. Now do this for your next 10 calls and then forever. But you can also track the market. Look at your successful competitors. What are they promising? What results are they showing? What do their offers include? And then ask yourself, is there something everyone wants that nobody's providing well? Is there an underserved market here? That is an opening for you. Moving into test, now you're gonna pitch your offer to real people. Now, my big disclaimer here, and this is what I see a lot of people doing in my community and coaching, is don't spend months trying to perfect your offer on paper, tweaking your website or fiddling with logos or doing all of this easy feel-good stuff, right? Get in front of prospects because they are going to vote with their wallet. Sales calls, that's the only way to figure out your offer. Okay, and the third T, tweak. Look for patterns in what people actually pay for versus what they reject. If 7 out of 10 people mention the same objection, then fix it. If only 1 person mentions it, ignore it. Just having that discernment of what to focus on. And then team, you iterate every month. Look at your results and ask, What can I add? What can I remove? Or what can I change to make more people buy? I'm going to show you a bit more of my journey soon. But first, here's what I see a lot of people missing, right? Clients don't just buy your service, they're going to buy the experience of working with you. And premium clients expect that experience to feel premium. So I want to stress this. The point is not just about trying to figure out how to charge people more, right? But to serve them better. So look at every single touch point and ask, where's the friction? How can I make this smoother, faster, easier for them to give them a better experience? But ultimately, the only way to build a great offer is to get into the arena. Take your shots and keep improving with every client that you help. And so for me, step 3 of this offer principle was to figure out how to own the whole problem. Because the thing is, most service providers don't fail because they're bad or evil, right? They fail because they only solve half the problem, a fraction of the problem, which means their clients are still stuck, still frustrated, and still looking for answers to that problem. Perfect example. I started doing audits that evolved into landing pages, but without traffic, those pages just sat there. Whereas traffic agencies were driving clicks, but without strong funnels, those clicks mean nothing. So both sides, my funnel agency, the traffic agency, were leaving clients with half-baked solutions. So I asked, why are we stopping at solving half the problem, just like these other agencies? We're just creating a different problem and not helping our clients. So then I added traffic. My very first client that I sold traffic to, it was $1,500 AUD. And you can bet your cotton socks that is not what I charge anymore. But this is the point about getting into the arena, getting the reps, learning, improving. Because instantly then I saw that clients needed ad copy. So we added that. Then video ads, then CRO. And service by service, we expanded until we weren't just a funnel agency or just another ad agency. We became the complete growth solution for what my clients needed. And that's when everything started to change for us, because clients are never paying me for just a landing page anymore, or just an ad, or just a funnel. They are paying me for a system to grow their business. And a landing page is part of it, but I'm gonna show you more about this system in principle 3. First, we gotta do principle 2. So here's a story from when I was charging $5K for landing pages. I'd get on sales calls and prospects would say, like, I don't understand why it's $5,000. I can get a landing page for $500 or $50 on Fiverr. And I would get so frustrated and insulted because I knew what went into that 5K and I knew we weren't even that profitable on it, right? It wasn't just building a page. I was running surveys with thousands of dollars to their customers. I was spending hours researching their market. I was listening to their customer calls. I was creating new offers, new messaging, then doing the copy, the design, the build. But they could only see the execution, right? The tangible things. So here's what I learned. Prospects don't see your process, and most of them don't give a shit. They only understand the outcome and who you are. And I just find this is where like really skilled people, really smart people, they get it really wrong. They think their work should speak for itself, that clients should automatically recognize all the hidden work and they're entitled to get more money for it, right? But the truth is the best people are rarely paid the best. They're like tortured geniuses who think they deserve more money because of their skill. But the best skill in the world is useless unless someone perceives it as valuable. Skill is not the passport to earning more money. And this is what I realized. It wasn't enough to just have the best offer. I also needed to build authority. So this is where the authority principle comes in. And authority isn't about charging more for the same thing because you can. It's about helping people understand and contextualize why your solution is worth 10x more. Okay, so this is the authority formula that I used. Be somebody to someone somewhere. So to be somebody, that means you are known for something. You can step into a circle and own it. For me, it wasn't gonna be marketing straight away, right? Like, I'm not gonna be able to go in and dominate against like Seth Godin or Alex Hormozy. No, my circle that I wanted to step into and own was landing pages and funnels and qualified leads, not e-commerce, that little circle. I know this one's hard because I help a lot of people in our community to figure it out, but it's just like, okay, when somebody thinks blank, I want them to think of me. That's what we want. But you will need specific proof to back this up, right? So in our agency, our North Star metric is to turn every single client into a case study. And then we can use that as an asset for leverage in our content and in our sales process. Next part of the equation, to someone, which means that they can instantly understand if you are for them. So think about who are your dream clients, not the energy vampires you are maybe currently attracting, the red flag annoying clients, but think about who are your dream clients? Who do you love working with? Now, obviously it depends if you're in B2B, B2C, whatever, because you can niche by industry, but I choose to niche based on psychographics and growth stage and some other things. Overall, my framework for picking clients includes things like, do I enjoy working with them? Is it fun? Can I get them results? Can I solve a really big pain they're already educated on? Are they underserved? That's why I chose lead gen, because I find it fun. Like high ticket lead gen, I find it fun. They're underserved. I'm very good at it. I get the best results. Then you think, okay, are there enough of them? And most importantly, do they have the money to pay? So for me, what else is high ticket lead gen? I could be in roofing or solar, not my right market. I take them on, but I like people that are educated about marketing. So all of my leads, all of my best clients, they come from YouTube, because they're already educated on marketing and my systems. And now, while I would work in the solar space, if they match my psychographics, it's not necessarily what I'm going to specialize or niche in, because it's more important to me to get the psychographics. Also, though, my agency is not a huge churn and burn agency. We are more like growth partners that plug in, and myself and my co-founder, Matt, and my whole team, we work very carefully on these accounts. So we're just looking for the right partners to work with. And finally, times that by somewhere, which means you need to be where they are hanging out so that they can actually find you. Bonus points if your competitors are too lazy or shit at the thing, right? So I started on LinkedIn with daily posts and going on external podcasts, not building my own to start with, then getting stage talks and doing YouTube. And I just repeated this consistently, because most people don't understand, or they're just lazy, because authority can only build with consistency. You can't fake it overnight. It takes months and years of showing up and delivering results and proving your expertise repeatedly. There are no shortcuts, but that is good news for you, because it means that most of your competition will never even try. So in summary, as Dan Kennedy says, whales mate with whales, or the big dogs want to work with the big dogs, or game sees game, right? However you want to say it, what you reflect out into the world is what you are going to attract back. Like attracts like. So if you want premium clients, you gotta look, think, and you gotta act like a premium partner, not a bargain bin order taker, right? Clients don't just pay for what you do, they pay for the outcome and who you are. Ultimately, you can be either an authority or a commodity, and there will be no in between. So you need to make a decision right now, which one will you position yourself as? Okay, and here's the final piece, because a great offer and a strong authority still aren't enough. If premium clients are going to pay you premium prices, they need more than value and positioning. They need certainty. And certainty comes from proven systems. So cue the systems principle. Okay, here's what I learned the hard way. Early on, I'd customize everything for each client. One campaign would be a home run, the next might be a flop. I had no idea why. I was winging it every single time. And then what? Well, that's when I realized anyone can get lucky once and anyone can say we get results, but premium clients are not paying for chance. They are paying for predictability, right? They're paying for confidence. So I started obsessively documenting and reverse engineering what actually worked. Every successful campaign, every winning test, every winning optimization that moved the needle. Then I turned those patterns into repeatable systems. After every time we would launch a campaign or do a project, we would do something called a post-mortem, and we would look at the results, but also the relationship, the 2 R's for an agency to retain clients. If you're a service-based provider, it's the same. The results, what worked, what didn't, how can I go back into the system and fix it to get that outcome again? The client experience. Where was the client confused? Where was their friction? Where did they have a great time? How can we double down on that? And now I've mapped out not just my whole system and everything's in ClickUp with all of the SOPs and the templates, but even the client experience. What happens on day one, the the moment after they give verbal confirmation they want to work with us. Day 2, day 3, day 4, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. All of those touch points, because after every client comes in, I reverse engineer what goes wrong, because prevention is better than cure. So the goal is repeatable systems, but here's what I mean by systems, right? When a client comes to me now, I'm not going to wing it. They get our PX lead machine system. It's our research audit, our messaging testing, our different funnel optimization systems. And every client gets the same proven process because it works. And here's the key. I don't spend my time in sales calls or content talking about me, right? I spend it talking about the system, how it works, why it's different, the results that it gets. Because once a client is sold on the system, they're sold on me. Why? Because they can only get that system, that PX lead machine, from me, right? And that's what separates me from pretty much every other agency pitching ads or funnels. Most clients have already tried that and failed. But when you give your system a name, a proprietary system, show the proof or how it works, you create something else no one can offer. So once I had these random systems, and naming's everything, we go over this in the community, everything changed. I started closing bigger clients and charging way more because I wasn't selling hope anymore, or maybe this will work. I was selling certainty. And when you combine proven systems with the offer and the authority that you've already built, you remove risk from the equation. And that unlocks what I call the confidence tax. Okay, this confidence tax, right? It's the premium clients are willing to pay because they feel safe, because they know that you're going to deliver, and because they're not taking a chance on you. So like, truthfully, when you hear 20K for a landing page, you might think it's insane, right? But to my clients, it's a total no-brainer. And let's be honest, they're not just paying for a page. They're paying for outcomes, the authority, and the whole system that I've built around the landing page, which gives them certainty. And that's the difference for me between charging $497 and charging $20,000. Anyway, you can keep charging what you've always charged, and that's fine. Maybe you're happy. I'm just sharing my experience. But if you do want things to change, you might just be sitting around hoping it's going to happen, right? But you need to take action, and this video might feel a bit overwhelming. There are levels to the game, and there is somewhere that you should start. So here is your first step. Just pick one client conversation, and use those diagnostic questions. Before it's even a sale, use the client. Stop taking orders and start diagnosing those problems and listening to the market. And if you want to go deeper, get my systems and my personalized help and feedback from me, you can join my community, The Obsessed. The link is in the description. Or if you're already doing over $1 million and you want me and my team to build your funnel systems and scale your qualified leads from paid ads, click the other link in the description to book a call directly with me. But if you want to just keep DIYing it, watch this video that YouTube is recommending next, and I'll see you in the next video.